close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Trailblazers out in front. They lead by a bucket. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's been a tight matchup in New York as we bring you our halftime breakdown. The Trailblazers in a close one against the New York Knicks. They haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. J.J. Hickson is certainly contributing with this one. Nothing comes easy. He's done the hard work, and they could pull it out once they get to the second half. On the other side, the Knicks looking pretty solid as well. They've capitalized on their trips to the charity stripe, and that's been crucial. Some great work out there by Michael Beasley. At the break, 7 points, and also helped out with 2 rebounds. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, take it away.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return, a view here of the landmark Statue of Liberty, illuminating this beautiful night. You look at Michael Beasley, he's really been playing well.
Yeah, his performance really transcends the stat sheet, Kevin, because you look at it, not all that impressive, but he's made a huge impact.
Yeah, the numbers aren't huge, but he's been really solid. I mean, he's made some important plays for him, and that's what it takes to win. You can't always have guys just stuff in the stat sheet. Sometimes you need plays made that don't show up in the box score.
New York trailing.
Well, for the Portland Trailblazers, a new training staff hired over from Oklahoma City. They let go of their previous trainer who'd been with the team for 19 seasons. Fair or not, I think the seat got hot after all the injuries that were really devastating this team.
And for the Blazers, statistically the most injured team in the NBA, Clark, from 2009 through 2012.
And the new training staff is advanced in not just injury treatment, but injury prevention, and that's key, using strength bands, recording baseline measurements for muscle strength and flexibility, even using Eastern medicine, so they're not leaving any stone unturned.
The first one falls.
There were only 3 teams in the East that had a positive record against the Western Conference, and the Knicks were one of them. When you have talent like this team does, it doesn't really matter where your opponent is from, because you're going to be able to compete.
And it's tied up with that one. Well, Clark, as you mentioned, the Knicks against the West, when you had the offensive capabilities from deep that they did, Steve, you're never really out of the game. Yeah, you should know.
Well, they could just shoot their way back into games very easily, and that's what they did a lot of times against some of those teams in the West. But you have to play well against the West if you want to win your division, and the Knicks were able to do that last year.
Now, here's Hickson.
Well, he defended the shot, got back into play, and grabbed the board. Nice play.
Bogut with a screen on Jones. Ball outside. It's Beasley on the wing for the lead. Can't get it to go. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. Back to Nelson. Moore. About 1 minute played here in the second half. That's good.
What's interesting for me to watch with Mike Woodson as head coach in New York is the exciting floor spacing offense they started playing last season. In Atlanta, he's been known for a grinded out isolation play style, but has actually tweaked his approach a little bit, and that's been impressive.
Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. And back to Mike Woodson, not a flashier, high-maintenance type of personality. He keeps it on the level, and I think, Steve, the players appreciate that.
Players definitely like that. He's very quiet on the sidelines, but not afraid to get in your face when necessary. And I think that's a really good temperament for a coach to have. In general, I think he's a guy who is very well respected around the league and did an excellent job with New York a season ago.
Here's Bogut. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. The Knicks have made all of their free throws so far tonight, going 6 for 6.
At the line for 2.
No good on the free throw. The Knicks making a switch here. He hits the second from the line. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Now a timeout called by Portland.
But he looks like he wants to toy around with some of their sets and matchups here.
You know, I don't think you can afford to go through a whole game doing the same thing over and over, and you have to be able to adjust on the fly, just like he's doing here.
Here's Hickson. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Nelson outside. And there's the feed to Moore. Shot clock at 6. Off target with his 3.
Anytime you have an offense that's based on a lot of isolations, you're not going to get a ton of assists. Despite being right at the bottom in terms of team assist totals, the Knicks were still a pretty good offensive team.
On up the court. Hickson dishes to Nelson. The Trailblazers have gone 1 of 3 at the line here.
2 shots.
Free throw drops for Nelson. The Knicks making a switch here. Both free throws good for Nelson. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Outside Jack. Feeds it to Paul. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
2 shots.
And that one falls for Paul.
You know, guys, you look at Chris Paul's path to greatness, and it's really kind of a neat story. when he was in high school, he didn't even make the varsity team until he was a junior and cracked 6 feet tall. And the school he wanted to go to, North Carolina, understandable for a kid who was in the state of North Carolina, the Tar Heels didn't even offer him a scholarship.
You know, he's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line. You know, with the time left, they can trade 2 for 1 here.
If they hurry.
Moore outside. Pass to Nelson. Back to Moore from past the arc. Good. A nice assist from Nelson.
And with Chris Paul, he ended up playing 2 seasons at Wake Forest, led them to a Sweet 16 appearance. You know, the school retired his number 3 jersey back in March. So for a guy so lightly recruited out of high school, what an incredible achievement.
And his twin brother has been just as successful in the insurance business.
That's right, Cliff.
Yes, Cliff. Terrific. In fact, he handles my home and auto.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I have an umbrella policy for him.
You do? He's a great assistant.
He's the best.
Yeah, wonderful. Holcomb, defended by Paul. Moore, right side. A 3 ball. Gets it to go. Moore's got 6 points in the quarter. And now we're 3 minutes into the 3rd quarter of play. 1 second left. It's off. And we've reached the end of the 3rd. Trailblazers lead by 6. And we're just moments away from the start of the 4th quarter. Stay with us. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Trailblazers.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And that's helped with their passing game, too, because they're getting a lot of assists by sharing the ball and moving it.
Trailblazers leading by 6. Moore gets the screen from Jones. Back to Hickson. Hickson, a screen on Paul. Here's Holcomb. Again, the Trailblazers good for 2.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Here's Paul. The shot is off, and it's Portland the other way. Holcomb, defended by Paul. The basket counts and 1. They'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
They got the lead despite pretty cold shooting from the field in the first half, and now they're beginning to find their groove.
Well, this is a team capable of getting hot, and if they do, they're going to really extend this lead.
Knicks trailed by 11. The pass to Childress. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Beasley outside. 6 to shoot. A drive by Paul, and that is good.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time. Didn't waste any time getting through it.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Now, here's Hickson. Holcomb, defended by Jack. Outside, Jones. Can't get it to go. The Knicks go the other way with it. Outside, Jack. The dish to Childress. Back to Jack. Taken away. .122 left in the fourth quarter. Hickson a screen. Here's Holcomb. Beasley with the rebound. Beasley's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Back to Jack. Misses off the left iron.
Would have been lucky to knock that shot down.
Yeah, that kind of shot will definitely get you the high eyebrows from the coach and maybe get you a seat on the bench, too.
Portland with the ball. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. And that one's good. And the Trailblazers lead by 11.
And the crowd here, of course, not happy about the outcome. But you know what? We saw a team tonight that came in prepared to do battle on the road, and they clearly wanted the win.
You know, they were determined to steal this game, and they showed it, Steve. Played harder and got the job done.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. The Trailblazers have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Lewis kicks to Smith. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Sims back to Smith. Dishes it to Lewis. His 3-pointers off the mark. Here's Flynn. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
At the line for your Knicks, Johnny Flynn. At the line for 2.
He drops the first one, and that brings them to within 10. And both free throws good from Flynn. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lewis passes to Smith. And so it's Portland winning this one. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Well, that'll do it for us. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, endorsed for Kevin Harlan, and so long. As we end the game, we bring you our Jordan player of the game.
2K Sports, I'm Damon Bruce. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It'll be the Portland Trail Blazers facing off against the Houston Rockets. And now things about to get going. Let's turn to Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who've got the call in Houston.
It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First for the Trailblazers, they've got Jones. They'll be watching him boxing out and maneuvering for the easy baskets inside. They'll be counting certainly on his production. Then it's Nelson, and it's Hickson in at the power forward. And for the Rockets, Beverly and Harden man the back. And inside at center from Turkey, one of the best defending big men in the game, 7-footer Omer Asher. And there's Green, and it's Robinson in at the 4.
You know, the Rockets turned a lot of heads last season, guys, as they got back into the playoffs after missing out the year before. A big part of that was how they played at home. They were very tough to beat in Houston.
And the Rockets, as you said, Clark, strong at home, and that can be seen in that record of 29-12. Just the kind of home record, Steve, you need to get into the playoffs.
And it was the way the Rockets played that was so impressive, Kevin. They attack the rim, and then they kick out and bomb a ton of threes. And I think that's the kind of attack, the kind of style that can really bring a friendly crowd and bring them to their feet. And I thought the Houston fans got more and more animated as the season went on. Well, defensively, he's a guy who always seems to anticipate the fast break and chase people down with his quickness and explosiveness to block shots in transition. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the game.
And, Steve, very few players have his finishing ability. We see him get a lot of and ones because even if he draws hard contact, he is able to play through that and typically score.
And he knocks down the first one.
Guys, it's no surprise that a young team like the Blazers found it difficult sledding on the road. Not quite the experience or edge needed to put together good performances on a nightly basis away from home.
Both free throws good for Nelson. Well, for the Blazers, statistically, they played as close as you could ask for as to when they played at home, but they didn't really have the roster to protect the rim and Steve forced turnovers, which is always a big help on the road.
Yeah, their interior defense was a problem last year. A lot of teams just ate them up, particularly when Portland would go out on the road. That's one of the reasons they finished 11-30. You have to be able to defend at a high level to win away from home.
Portland with the ball. Jeff Green missing his last shot. Passes to Moore. Moore gets the screen from Jones. Dixon a screen on Green. Shot clock at 6. Here's Holcomb. Green with the block. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Beverly the pass to Harden. Green with a screen for Harden. Nelson with the steal. Moore outside. There's the triple, and the basket good. Moore's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And here are the Rockets now. It's a 5-point game. Feeds it to Beverly. On the wing, Harden. And some nice passing there by Houston. He passes to Beverly. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three. You know, the Blazers found themselves, guys, near the bottom of the West last season, and typically when that happens, you struggle against the rest of the conference, and that was certainly the case for Portland.
Now, here is Nelson. 6 to shoot. Great D that time from Green.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Harden kicks to Beverly. Puts up a three. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession. And the Trailblazers making a change here. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. There's the feed to Lewis. He dishes it to Smith. The three. That's good. Smith's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Rockets trail by 5. Butler dishes to Harden. Butler sets a screen for Harden. Pass to Chambers. And he gets it to go from the corner. Chambers got his first points in this one. Now here is Smith. From deep. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Trailblazers out in front, up by 3. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And taking a look at the Trailblazers' performance here, boys, what do you think they're doing or not doing?
And you get a chance early on to see their depth. They got a nice effort from their bench players early in this game.
Yes, Steve, I tell you what, their subs have really packed the punch for them so far.
Rockets trail. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Thank you, Kevin. J.J. Hickson last season was 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. He says, quote, all gas, no brakes. That's the way I was taught to play the game. But he says he's much more than just a hustle guy, adding that calling him that takes away from my overall game. I can shoot, I can make basketball plays. He did improve his jump shot last season, and at 25, he has plenty of room to grow, guys.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a great way for him to really find his niche, Doris. Thanks. No good. Some solid defense from Butler.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, it certainly had the makings of a great story. Harden versus his old team, the Rockets coming back with a big Game 5 win. If they could get Game 6, they'd be able to force that final 7th game and maybe pull off the upset, but it wasn't meant to be.
And here's Smith after the three-pointer from Chambers. Smith outside, dishes it to Lewis. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Lewis has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Well, going back to the Rockets in the postseason, a lot of people had them picked to get steamrolled. But Steve, they put up a solid fight and really turned some heads with how they played.
Well, the easy answer was because of the Westbrook injury. That's how Houston was able to really take Oklahoma City deep into that series. But I think there's more to it than that. The Rockets have tremendous offensive firepower. I think they're gaining momentum as a franchise. And heading into this year, I think they're one of the scariest teams in the conference.
Outside Butler. Pass to Neely. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the least, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy.
And that one misses.
Houston might have made the playoffs in the West last season, guys, but it wasn't because they were beating up on their peers. They were 24-28 against the rest of the West. That's why they got the 8th seed.
Now, here is Smith. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, you remember the Rockets last year when they were playing a lot of teams in the West near the end of the regular season. That was when they slipped, Steve, out of the 6th seed range down to number 8.
Well, of course, the West was really strong last year, Kevin, so it makes sense that you're going to struggle a little bit against all those good teams. But, Houston ended up being the only team in the West to make the playoffs with a sub-500 record against the rest of the conference.
Omer Asher, he's checked in for the Rockets. Chambers comes in for Franklin. Smith hits them both. 1:11 left to play here in the second quarter. Neely the pass to Asher. The pass to Chambers. There's a screen. The dish to Asher. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Smith outside. He kicks it to Lewis. Shoots from the elbow. Portland no good that time either. Rockets have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. 30 seconds left in the first half. He feeds it to Asher. Pass to Neely. Rocket 6. And some nice passing there by Houston. They grab their own miss. Johnson can't get it to go. Here's Sims. Smith the pass to Hansen. Back to Smith. Kicks it to Lewis. 3-pointer. Offensive rebound. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Trailblazers lead by 1. Keep it here for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. We'll see you after the break for the start of the second half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to halftime, fans. A close game going on out in Houston. Portland with the lead against Houston. They've gone to their bench for the spark, and it's fired. Big scoring off the pine. Nolan Smith has been the X factor. No big numbers by his name in the box score, but he's doing the little things out there to try and get his team the win. And it's also been a strong start for the Rockets. They're really working that ball around, doing a nice job keeping the D off balance. And now we send you back to Houston for the start of the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. One of the stories here today, Nolan Smith getting it done.
Isn't it funny? It's not always the guy you'd expect to come through with the big plays in the big game.
Yeah, he's really been a difference. But you're right, Steve. Sometimes it is that unknown X factor, and today he's proven it.
Harden with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Outside, Robinson feeds it to Green. Good on the baseline jetty. Green's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Rockets.
Boy, it was a tough year for Portland, and a lot of that was because they didn't get much done in points in the paint. Not only did they not score in the paint, they gave up a lot of points in the paint as well.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
Moore, left side. And the layup's good off the glass. Moore's got 5 now. Well, Clark, you were talking about them giving up points in close. Perhaps the biggest issue Portland faced last season. Steve, they were dead last in the NBA when it came to that category.
Yeah, near the bottom of the league in blocks as well. You just don't win in this league without good interior defense. You have to be able to clog the paint and force outside shots and keep people from scoring. It seemed like it was a layup line against the Blazers last year.
Now Moore. James Harden missing on the 3. Picks in a screen. Back to Moore. Beyond the arc. Rockets with the rebound. There's 1:38 left to play in the third. And Beverly kicks to Green. Now the feed to Harden. He dishes it to Beverly. Back to Harden. Shoots the 3. That is good. And the Rockets lead by 2.
Well, James Harden, clearly one of the most potent offensive threats in the game. Can do it all. Pass, shoot with range, get to the rim. He led the league in free throw attempts last season with over 10 a game.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. And Clark, you mentioned Harden, great at drawing fouls. He stays low, he holds the ball low, and when he brings it up, if the defender reaches, he just guides his arms up under theirs to draw the contact. It's a very clever move.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of players over the years do it. Kevin Durant has done it. Tim Duncan before that. Going way back, Sam Perkins used to make that move.
That's right.
It's really a tricky play, and it's tough to guard, but when you perfect it offensively, it's really a weapon.
Portland's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Moore outside. Hits the three-point bomb. Moore's got his 3rd basket of the night.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Here's Robinson. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Dishes it to Beverly. Misses the 3.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
You got that right. I mean, he'll do it from three-point land or anywhere on the perimeter, really, because he is a deadly shooter. You've got to do a better job defensively.
Here's Green. It's blocked. They get it back. Another shot. And it's good on the layup. Green's got his 2nd basket of the night. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
A great matchup. I mean, these two teams really match up well talent-wise. I'm enjoying this.
Now, here's Nelson.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
The Trailblazers have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one.
Well, you look back at a season ago, this is a club that made 78% of its shots from the free throw line, so very comfortable with that strike.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for them. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
And he's good on the second.
Well, he could have done a little better on that trip to the foul line, but he was able to tie this game up.
And here's Harden. Harden gets a screen from Green. Harden kicks to Robinson. Back to Harden. Pass to Beverly. All alone. The shot is off.
Nothing fancy about that play. Just good, hard-nosed basketball to haul in the board.
It's a tie game here in Houston. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated to help them get their job done tonight. Portland's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Moore gets the screen from Jones. Here's Holcomb. And a miss there on the triple. Houston's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Green, the pass to Neely. Now the dish to Beverly. 6 on the shot clock. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
This has been a terrific contest up to this point, and I would guess it's going to stay this way all the way to the end. Great matchup.
Probably so. Neither team wants to give an inch.
Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for Houston. Portland with the ball. They trail by 3. Moore outside. Picks in a screen. Back to Moore. This one for 3. Good on the shot.
That's just a case of two teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And Jones over to help. And Beverly kicks to Ashik. And the pass to Beverly. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Jones. Holcomb defended by Beverly. It's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
Boy, in a close game especially, those plays really hurt.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Harden against Nelson. They kick it out to Green. Back to Harden. He feeds it to Beverly. The three. That drops. Beverly's got 6 in the quarter.
And the hot shooting continues, guys.
Yeah, it sure does, Steve. They've mothballed the defense, though. It's all about offense today.
Now a timeout called by Portland. They're trailing by 3. 1:14 left in the fourth quarter. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He said, no time to waste, fellas. We've got to pick it up right now if we're going to make a comeback and try to win this thing. Let's go all out. Back to you.
.114 left in the game. Pass to Moore. Takes the three. But they'll get another chance. Nelson outside. He kicks to Jones. And Robinson comes to help. Nelson outside. Lock at 6. Here's Holcomb. Off target from three-point range.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
It's Harden with the drive. No luck. Nice D from Moore. Portland's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Here's Holcomb. A three-pointer, no good. Rockets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet. Now Harden. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, you got to freeze the clock. I mean, that's the enemy in this situation.
A few misses at the line, and they're in good shape.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And he does get the second one. And that gives them a 4-point cushion. Now a timeout called by Portland. They're down by 4. 9 seconds left in the fourth. Guys, what's your take?
Well, the way to go here, you got to get a quick basket and then a foul. That's the only course of action at this point.
And it's key who they foul. Don't send an excellent free throw shooter to the line here.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Money! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Nice play there on the inbounds. The defense really lost contact.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. He's able to hit the second one, and that will put them up by 2. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Here's Holcomb. So it's a narrow victory for the Rockets, pulling it out for the W. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight games.
That about does it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying so long, and thanks for watching. Now, here is our Jordan player of the game.
NBA on 2K Sports. The weekend of hoops continues. It's going to be the Houston Rockets up against the Dallas Mavericks. And that's all for now. Time to hand it over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back with more at halftime.
And there the Mavericks earlier getting set to play. Welcome, everyone. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, ready to bring you all the action along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Rockets, Beverly and Harden man the backcourt. And inside at center from Turkey, one of the best defending big men in the game, 7-footer Omer Asher. And there's Green, and it's Robinson in at the 4. And then for the Dallas Mavericks, Terry Williams out there with J.R. Smith. And it's center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. And it's Thomas in at the 4-man position.
Hey, you really can't say the Mavericks were a bad team last year. They were just a little below par compared to what we've been accustomed to. They just were not nearly as deadly offensively. And that's always a recipe for struggles in the West.
So Dallas will get the first possession. Howard setting the pick for Williams. Defended by Beverly. Williams kicks to Smith. The 3. Can't get it to go. And Houston the other way now. And for the Mavs against the rest of the West, you were just talking about, Clark, they went 24-28 against the rest of the conference. And while that is all right, Steve, it's not going to get you into the playoffs.
Not with the depth of this conference, Kevin. And I think you have to be at least 500 this year against the West to get in. The Mavs know this, and they've been a perennial playoff team for a long time. They just couldn't quite get everything together last season.
There's the 3. And it's Smith again missing. Let's send it out to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Rick Carlisle. Doris?
He said the player he'll be watching closely in this matchup is Thomas Robinson. He added, you have to respect the energy he brings to the game. That'll be the challenge for our bigs, is matching that energy and physicality. Guys, Robinson a guy with a growing skill set, but it's still that athleticism and hustle that's really his calling card. Back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Now here's Williams. And And there's Howard. That's good on the assist by Williams.
Tell you what, he takes a lot of punishment inside. When Howard gets the ball in deep, defenses are looking to foul him hard because of his difficulties at the free throw line.
And he's a devastating finisher when you let him power it up to throw it down. He's a former dunk contest champ, Steve, so you give him a chance to do that, he'll make you part of his highlight reel. Well, I tell you what, that Southwest division can be really tough. Seems like there are always at least 2 title contenders in the division and 3 to 4 teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. The Rockets felt the toughness as they went just 6-10 against the rest of the Southwest.
Now here's Green after the miss from T. Rocket 6, and Beverly kicks to Harden. Fires the 3. Mavericks with the rebound. Rockets, Clark, against the Southwest, 6-10, as you said. And those losses were big as far as playoff seeding was concerned. Steve, very hard playing in that division.
Well, it toughens you up in a hurry, that's for sure. I mean, the Rockets still have yet to win the division title since it first came about in 2004. They've been in the hunt, and they've made the playoffs, but they've also been going against some dominant franchises in San Antonio and Dallas.
And that one's good. Beverly.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Howard kicks to Smith for the 3. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches. That's how you answer.
It's Harden with the drive. He used that pick to get in close.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a nice look.
Poor job by the defender to not fight over or around that screen.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And he was up over the 80% mark from the free throw line last year. I'm sure he was pretty happy with those numbers.
And the free throw, no good. And here's Mayo from the arc. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Rockets lead by 2. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far.
This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
Houston in the lead. Here's Neely. Green with a screen on Harper. Neely. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
Mavericks trailed by 4. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, Greg Smith out of Fresno State went undrafted back in 2011, but he set a record at the Combine with hands a foot wide from thumb to pinky. After playing a bit in the D-League, he caught on with the Rockets and says his hands have been a big part of his success. Quote, I can catch the ball with one hand or two. I rarely drop a pass, and that's what my teammates love about me. They know they can have the confidence to throw the ball wherever, and I'm going to catch it. Guys, he also said that growing up in a football family, all that practice catching footballs helps his hand-eye coordination.
He's really coming into his own. Thanks, Doris. And so it's Dallas with it. After the miss from Franklin. Harper with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. From the arc. Shot by Mayo is no good.
You know, it was a hot start last season for O.J. Mayo in Dallas, guys. A lot of people wondered if he finally turned the corner and become the star that people would expect it when he was the 3rd overall pick back in 2008. But his hot shooting wore off a bit, and by the end of the season, Coach Carlisle was starting to question his effort.
And so here is Houston. O.J. Mayo missing on the 3. 2 on the clock. Butler. And again, it's the Rockets from deep. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Now Harper. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Mayo left side. Takes a 3. There's the bucket pull. And for O.J. Mayo last season, still some positive signs. A career-high in three-point percentage. One of the better years from the field. And I think the Mavericks really enjoyed him on their team.
Well, it seemed on the whole that the year went very well for him. He opted out of the final year of his deal. Picked up a new multi-year contract, so we'll see how he continues to develop.
Omer Asher, he's checked in for Jeff Green. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Chambers kicks to Butler. Pass to Chambers. And some nice passing there by Houston. Shot clock at 5. Houston needs to get a shot off. Here's Franklin. Carries the long-range jumper. Franklin's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Boy, it's no wonder they've got the lead. Their shooting has really picked up here in the second quarter.
You know, you don't expect a team, Steve, to shoot in the 60% range the entire game. But if they can hover around that mark, then they'll run away with this one.
And here is Jefferson after the 3 moments ago from Franklin. And Jefferson gets it to go.
Looked like they found the soft spot in the defense there.
Rockets leading by 5. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Chambers the pass to Franklin. The three-pointer no good. Now Harper looking for his first basket still in this one. Right side Jefferson. That's good. Here's Chambers. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Rockets on top. They're up by 3. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's halftime, and I'm Damon Bruce. An excellent game going on at American Airlines Center. The Rockets in a hard-fought game against the Dallas Mavericks. The offense has been firing on all cylinders. This team is cooking. Thomas Robinson making a big contribution. He hasn't put up overwhelming numbers, but without him, where would they be so far in this one? And for the Mavericks, it's a grinded-out effort. They've done all the little things, made all the hustle plays, and that's been the difference. Al Jefferson is the leading scorer, and J.R. Smith's also been getting it done for them. And we'll be heading back to the court for the rest of our coverage as we go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Rockets leading by 3.
Houston found their way back into the playoffs last season, but really it wasn't because they were a tough team on the road. They only had 16 wins away from Houston last season.
It's Harden with the drive. Here's Beverly. No good from outside. Mavericks shooting the ball at 42%. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Gentlemen, Rick Carlisle is widely considered an outstanding strategist and X&O's coach. But with the turnover on the Mavericks roster the last few seasons, he's tried to keep things as simple as possible for them. He said, quote, "My ongoing goal is to call less or no plays if we can. We want our guys to make plays." Kevin?
Well, Doris, when you've got that kind of talent and IQ, playing on instinct can certainly be effective. And Clark, as you were talking about, the Rockets weren't nearly as troublesome to teams last year when they found themselves in the away locker. Mostly, Steve, it came down to their offense not having quite as much punch.
Well, most teams don't score as much on the road as they do at home, but for the Rockets, 5 points differential between home and away, it's pretty dramatic. And I think that was one of the reasons why we saw them struggle when they left Houston and tried to get a win. Changing sides didn't seem to help them at all, huh, guys? They missed their first 3 shots in the third quarter.
And it gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Kevin, he gets a lot of praise for the way he exerts himself on the court, the energy, the passion that he brings to the game. It's really fun to watch.
You know, it's really good to see people recognize how much effort he puts into each and every minute he's out there. He's all in all the time and never stops working.
That one drops. He ties it up.
You know, since the Southwest Division was created, the Mavs have always been in the hunt to win it every year. But last season, their division title hopes were dashed early on because of a poor start.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Bledsoe's checked in. And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. And the Mavs would end up 4th in the division with a 7-9 mark against the other 4 teams. Steve, strange not to see them in the top half of the division.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you look at the Southwest, San Antonio still rolling. Houston improving dramatically. Even New Orleans now making a step. And Memphis, they had an awesome season a year ago. So, boy, that Southwest, it might be the toughest division in the NBA.
Harden kicks to Ashik. Beverly. 1:31 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Robinson, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, it clearly was a tough rookie season for Thomas Robinson, guys. He really struggled to find his shot, and right now it's time to figure out how to score effectively in the NBA. I just think it's going to take him a little time because he's undersized as a power forward and not quite skilled enough yet to play the small forward spot.
That free throw missing. And for Robinson offensively, do you think he can turn around, Steve?
Well, he's got a lot of athleticism. I think he's best suited as a rebounder, a guy who can come in with great energy, probably off the bench, but he doesn't have a polished offensive post game at this point.
Chambers is checked in for Houston. And he's good on the second.
You know, when you get an influx of talent through the draft like the Rockets did prior to last season, the initial reaction is excitement, but then you think about, man, how are we going to get these guys ready to play NBA basketball? And the Rockets did a nice job by taking it easy and bringing them along slowly.
Now here's Williams. Offensive rebound. The shot no good. It's Harden with the drive. The shot is off. Great D that time from Eric Bledsoe. And for the Rockets, you look at how that strategy worked out for them, and it was exactly what they needed. Got off to a quick start last year, and, Steve, toward the end, their rookies were fresh and able to contribute when it mattered most.
Kevin, it's hard for fans to see a player get drafted and not immediately see the floor, but a lot of times that's the best route. You give a player time to adjust, you make him earn it, and by the end of the season, he can be a very effective player. I think plenty of the Rockets players proved that last season.
And here's Bledsoe after the three-pointer from Beverly. Now here's Bledsoe. Outside Williams. Fires from the wing. Williams with another miss. The Rockets have gone 4 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. Robinson, a screen on Smith. There's a screen by Robinson. Chambers can't make the basket. Williams kicks to Smith. Williams lets the three fly. No good. 3/4 of play in a close game here. Rockets lead by 1. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
How about the three-point shooting we're seeing so far, guys? Amazing.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good, crisp passes.
The Mavericks trailing. And here is Mayo. Pass to Williams. Williams gets a screen from Howard. Shot's good by Williams. Williams has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Mavericks.
And one of the things I love about Darren Williams, guys, is his competitive desire. He plays so hard, wants to win so badly, and he'll do it however you need him to do it. He can score, he can pass, he can defend. This guy can do it all.
Yeah, he does do it all, Steve. And the way Darren can get into the teeth of the defense with his penetration and crossing guys up just means he's going to create shots for himself or his teammates. And when he can, he'll find the open guy.
Here comes James Harden. The dish to Beverly. Teague on the double team. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots the three. No good from Beverly.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Williams against Robinson. And Williams, here we go. Good on the shot. And the Mavericks lead by 1. Clark and Steve, neither team with a big advantage here in the fourth quarter.
5 times we've had the lead switch so far. I mean, back and forth we go.
Man, I think that total could rise, Clark, because two evenly matched teams playing a tough game.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Kevin McHale address his team. He told his players, guys, we're letting opportunities slip away in transition. Let's push it up the floor, look to score some points in early offense. Kevin, can they pick up the tempo?
There's 1:38 left to play here in the fourth. Beverly dishes to Green. The pass to Robinson. Working on Howard. Robinson kicks to Green. Houston moving the ball around. 5 on the clock. The Rockets again can't hit. The Mavericks leading. Williams passes to Smith. All sorts of time. They get it back. Howard. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And he can't make the second free throw either. Missing both. The Rockets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Here's Beverly, covered by Smith. Green kicks to Beverly. Launches it. Can't get it to go. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Guys are not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Now with the lead, I mean, now's the time to use the clock to your advantage. Take your time, milk the clock a little bit.
Now here is Smith.
You know, they've got a foul to give here if they need it.
Now, definitely something to keep in mind for them right now. They can be very aggressive.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're down by 3. 23 seconds left in the fourth. What do you think, guys?
Now, they've got 2 options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. That's good.
Ooh, a pressure basket right there. Now that's coming through in the clutch.
Williams with the ball. J.R. Smith on the wing. Misses the tray.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
Here is Harden. Bullseye!
Guys, you just don't realize, maybe Steve does, but you can't imagine how difficult it is to hit a shot that deep. Man, that was as sweet as honey.
Clark, I think it's pretty easy, actually.
And the Mavericks call time here. What's your take?
They don't have enough time here to catch and shoot. Their only hope is to try to tip it in off the inbound pass. That's always a difficult shot.
victory for the Rockets, pulling it out for the W. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
Thanks for joining us for this presentation of NBA Basketball on 2K Sports. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time. But first, let's check out the Jordan player of the game.
2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It'll be the Los Angeles Clippers facing off against the Charlotte Bobcats. And that's all for now. Time to hand it over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back with more at halftime.
And just a minute or two here for the players to get warmed up before the start of the game. Hello, fans. Welcome to this presentation of the NBA Sunday night action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. We'll hear from Doris Burke on the sideline coming up. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First for the Clippers, Collison is out there with Anderson. And inside at center, a long 6'11", the sky-sweeping big man out of Texas A&M, DeAndre Jordan. And it's Griffin in at the power forward. And then for the Charlotte Bobcats, Austin out there with Williams. And at the center position, the 7-foot big man from Kingston, Jamaica, Jerome Jordan. It's his first. Then there's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and it's May in at the fourth.
Well, for the Bobcats, some tough luck in the lottery the last few seasons. They had the worst record in 12, but they missed out on Anthony Davis, the second worst record last season, but they fell to the fourth pick. They need so much help, but the lottery fortune hasn't gone their way.
Tip-off goes to the Clippers. Lawson's against Collison.
Come get it, come get it.
Anderson outside. Shot clock at 6. Got it from 16 feet. Anderson's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Clippers. And Clark, you mentioned the struggles last year for the Bobcats. Last season, the worst defense, second worst in rebounding, and Steve, the third worst in offense.
They just didn't have enough talent. It's been a long struggle for this team the last few years, and the roster is starting to grow. It's starting to build, but there's still a lot of work to be done in Charlotte.
Here's Powell. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist making his last shot. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to speak with the head coach for the Charlotte Bobcats. He said they'll have to do a good job moving their feet on the defensive end or they'll get dunked on all night. He told me that they are very aware of the slashers and finishers they're facing and will try to turn them into jump shooters. Let's see how successful they are, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. That free throw missing.
The difference between being a dominant or a good team and mediocrity is the ability to win on the road. The Clippers secured their spot as one of the NBA's elite teams last season because they showed the ability to get it done on the road.
And he's good on the second. And the Clippers with one of the better road records in the Western Conference last year, going 24-17. Steve actually tied for the second most road wins in the West, only behind the Thunder.
And believe it or not, Kevin, it's the first time the Clippers franchise has ever had a winning record on the road. Actually, I do believe that when you think back to Clipper history. But I'll tell you what, it's a team on the rise and a very interesting club to watch.
Here's Williams after the made shot from Anderson. Williams kicks to Jordan. Kidd-Gilchrist. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. No good from Lawson. Clippers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Collison, the pass to Jordan. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Guys, it was another year for DeAndre Jordan where he was exactly what you want from a supporting role center. Blocked shots, dunked it when he could, and really had his best season so far.
Free throw good, Jordan. And for DeAndre Jordan, the physical tools certainly are there. 6'11", 7'6" wingspan. It's developing his skill and the experience that he's been working on.
I thought he got better last year with that jump hook inside. Not to the point where you'd go to him, but where it was serviceable. Still a young guy, though. And I think he has solidified his place as the Clippers' center of the future, but he can get better as he goes along.
Hey, I think we all knew that the Clippers were good last year, but we really took notice when they rattled off those 17 wins in a row in December. That was a franchise record, which had previously been 11, and that's when the league really took notice.
Williams, that's good. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Here's Collison. He lobs it up, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Well, it was the year of the win streak last season with Miami doing what they did and Denver getting hot as well. But you know, Steve, the Clippers had the first lengthy win streak and turned some heads earlier in the season.
Yeah, what was that, about 17 games in a row they won? And I thought that kind of established the Clippers in the West, put a little fear in the rest of the conference, and gave L.A. a swagger that I thought helped them get through the rest of the season.
Collison kicks to Anderson. There's 25 seconds left in the first. Powell. Outside Collison. 6 on the shot clock. Goes up the baseline. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. It's his first trip to the line.
Well, he almost always cashes in when he gets to the line. He was about 86% from the free throw line last season.
Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well.
And he makes the first. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Collison hits them both. There's 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The dish now to Mullins. Deflects the pass. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Clippers lead by 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here at the Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers, guys.
Well, they've been getting to the foul line here an awful lot. The aggressive play really paying off.
Yeah, and you know what? It also helps to put the mute button on the crowd. I mean, when you methodically score at the line, that can put those fans on their hands.
Charlotte trailing. Kicks to Mullins. Feeds to Sessions. Gives him the lead pass. Shot's good by Mullins.
Great looking bounce pass to set up that play.
And it's the Clippers' ball. Evans outside. Evans off the pick from Powell. Evans attacking. Powell inside. Defended by Kid Gilchrist. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Well, his body control is what I noticed. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play. Even with the defender draped all over, he's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
Also, there's one other thing I've noticed with him. I mean, he's great at stripping the ball away from you at the last possible moment. That's not an easy play to make, but he seems to have developed the knack for doing just that.
The free throw drops for Powell.
Well, you know, this last offseason, the Bobcats announced their intention to change the team name to the Hornets, reclaiming the name of the original Charlotte franchise that left for New Orleans in 2002.
Both free throws good from Powell. And just like New Orleans chose a name, the Pelicans, that has local significance, the Hornets, a historical reference to Charlotte's rebellious fighting spirit during the American Revolution. Steve, you were just telling me about this. Fascinates you.
It does. I'm an American history buff, Kevin, and I'm also an NBA history buff. And you think back to the Hornets in Charlotte originally, they sold out for 9 straight seasons. So the Hornets nickname absolutely belongs in Charlotte.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Guys, Doc Rivers, the new head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, said after last season, quote, "There were times last year when they were the best team in the league. So I clearly think this is an extremely talented basketball team. But can we do that now in the postseason as opposed to just the regular season? That'll be the true test, gentlemen."
Yeah, championship mentality, Doris. Good point. Thanks.
You know, you go through the regular season, guys, and set all sorts of records for your franchise and wins and winning streaks and all that. You win your division for the first time ever, your first 50-win season, and what do you get for it? Bounced in the first round of the playoffs. It's still progress, though, and I think the Clippers will use that for motivation this season.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. Collison hits them both. Well, Clark, as you said, the Clippers got up 2-zip on the Grizzlies, but all of a sudden it came to a crashing halt. As Steve, they dropped 4 consecutive games, and just like that, we're out of the postseason.
Yeah, injuries played a part. Blake Griffin sprained his ankle, but I think the Clippers were exposed a little bit too. They're limited offensively on the front line, and maybe not quite enough shooting, but that's why they made the moves in the offseason, and they're looking to pick up and make some improvement in that regard.
And the Clippers making a change here. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Clock at 6. Shoots from the line. The shot is off. Lawson with the defensive effort there. The Bobcats have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. There's Williams. Buchanan throws it down with the quick putback jam.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
And giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
So it's the Clippers now. Collison the pass to Braxton. Back to Collison. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Here's Flory. Off target from three-point range. Bobcats have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Lawson drives in. Here's May. That one wide left.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Here's Braxton. No good on the buzzer beater. So a tie game here as we finish the first half. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.